For the plot, but we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And in trouble beneath the side of the Watashi tachi wa sorera wa subete vunseiki shimasu. It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting all the shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown.
Hey, welcome everyone to the Biggles Breakdown. I am Biggles Metz. I'm joined by the Knight of the Channel and resident Gooner, Crimson Law. And then we have the man who gives me abandonment
Skynet's chosen Gooner.
Skynet's chosen Gooner. And we got the man who gives me abandonment issues, Little Chad.
I don't try to give you abandonment issues, but unfortunately, I will be honest and say that my moral and legal obligations to my children, my child, and family will trump streaming on YouTube. And that's why I'll never make it big and get monetized like Biggles.
My throat hurt reading those fucking Otome game lines and my best Bryce Pappenbrook impersonation.
It was great. It was the funniest thing
You want to know who else does that? My mom.
By the way, good points for that intro sequence, including our favorite guild receptionist and her dancing. I really enjoyed the new episode where they blackmailed her into helping on a trip because to hire more people and keep down her overtime.
Blackmail is a common theme this season. We also have blackmail in So I Married a Girl I Hate. And it's not really blackmail, but she kind of acts like it is. And I have a crush at work, or can you keep a secret, or whatever it's called, depending on.
People are sleeping on So I Married a Girl I Hate when was it the second episode? She was like, okay, you can touch me. And he's like, I didn't mean like that.
I just meant when I accidentally touched your butt and you wanted to kill me because the bed is small.
That girl is jumping way, way ahead on a couple of steps there. Like, she is absolutely ready for it, even though she is saying she's not. Like, her first thought anytime is just segs.
So we're going to start with that then. If we're going to jump right into it,
we're going to start with sex.
Love it. Yeah, we're going to talk about sex. So they haven't had it, but his little sister / cousin was the ghost in their house, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, the
hold on. How is she say being the ghost the same as sex? Explain the correlation there.
Because ghost, sex, scary movie too. There you go. Correlation.
So every time you probably think every time you yawn, a ghost sticks its dick in your mouth.
Maybe there's a possibility that could be happening.
Has somebody been watching Scary Movie like too many times?
Well, I mean, I saw it like last week or something, and now it's still kind of fresh in my mind. And I think that's 2 though, but whatever. It's all the same. But yeah, so this one I actually really like. It's probably one of my like more towards the top of this. It's not as good as Villainous, and it's not as good as our guild receptionist that I absolutely fucking love, but it's up there. I really like it, and so yeah, that's my opinion on it so far.
I really like it. It's not as good as this, but it's not as good as this. But I like it.
No, but yeah, I do.
Look, it's the I like it guy.
Yeah, I like it. I don't really have much words to use. No, but the blonde-haired girl, what's her name?
I completely blank on
blonde-haired girl. Doesn't it say her name here?
Yeah, it should say
Himura.
Himari.
Yeah, she's the best friend who
Yeah, and I think she likes him because she's constantly flirting with him.
You think?
And
You think Sherlock?
And she's
Biggles,
the one.
have you watched anime? You know this is how it works.
Well, no, I don't understand that at all because I'm kind of like the same way girls flirt with me all the time, and I'm always like, why are you talking to me?
See, I only just recently realized that back when I was in college, there was a chick flirting with me because we had a couple of classes together, and she would always talk to me. And it's like only recently I realized, holy shit, I actually had a shot.
Yeah, you probably did, but you watch too much anime and you're like, this guy's got it. Anytime a girl talks to him, they're just teasing him. But no, so the blonde hair
that was actually before right as I was starting to watch anime. So
I
I was still in like the shonen only category.
So you didn't figure it out yet. Okay. So the blonde girl likes him, but she was also kind of self-sabotaged herself because she told Akane to just get married, and she didn't know it was to Saito. And it's just overall funny, and it's kind of cute. Like in the third episode that we didn't talk about last week because we were playing an Otome game, she gets sick because she's trying to beat him at like getting the highest grade in the class because she has a dream of being a doctor, and she's like really sick, and she's like, no, you can't have an ambulance because what if someone needs it and instead they're with me. So he carries her all the way to the hospital to take care of her,
and it's just a normal cold.
Yeah, and you're seeing like how their relationship is blooming, and she even gets jealous of her friend like flirting with him, even though they're hiding the fact that they're married. And
yes.
I think it's episode 4 where the whole class is like, "Are you married?" And then she eats his food to like be like, no, they don't have the same thing.
And then disposed of the evidence. Was that really your only motive? No, I was hungry.
Yeah. And they're just like, oh, how do you do that? She's just so cute. Like they're all like mad at him instead. And she's like,
no, I think as far as the show goes, it's done really good with like the characterizations and keeping the part of the dynamic between Saito and Akane intact. That really makes it very enjoyable. They're like constantly butting heads, but at the same time, they're growing closer, getting to understand each other more. There was a part of the last episode that I did particularly like where it shows that like Shisei is really like genuinely concerned about Saito, her older brother, actually having a good life and being happy for once. And like she's not just there to like obstruct and get in the way. Like she genuinely wants to make sure that he's going to get along for the rest of his life with Akane.
Mm-hmm.
And for her to be there.
Yeah.
In the walls.
All creepy like.
Look, okay. If we're being entirely honest,
she's going to come out of the walls like it's The Grudge or something like that.
She's going to be sitting in the corner
like the star of the show.
It reminds me of Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian, and the sister just taking over the show in terms of the internet love.
Yes.
Yeah. So that one, I think it's funny sometimes when the lead gets pushed aside for in a lot of ways, like ReZero, and rightly so, for the first season, people were head over heels for Rem when Amelia has a lot going on that people don't want to give her credit for because they just only saw the first season. They're anime only.
I think a lot of people get really distracted with that series and not realizing like each character shines different. Like each arc shines on different characters. So like if you want to talk about best girl throughout like the whole series, you're really going to have to narrow it down to, okay, who's the best girl in this arc? I mean, arc 2 and 3, I would pick Rem. Arc 4, move on and on and on and on. Like there's a lot of really good moments for just about every character in this series.
Best girl is Subaru.
Ironically, most of the fandom would agree with you.
Subaru is definitely chick-like.
Well, as you pointed out, for this upcoming second core, I think a lot of people are going to be as what did you refer to her as, mommy Dom or whatever?
Dommy Mommy, Priscilla Burial.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, did you see when they dropped the preview? The disparity between like the whole the big attraction of this upcoming part is literally going to be the fight against the archbishops, and everyone is excited that they are keeping the Priscilla Burial changing scene in the anime.
There we go. Win. All right. So not
Sorry,
Zero related. No, that's
Yes.
fine. We're going to go to one that's similar to the one we just had.
But this one has sex.
But this one has adult themes because they are adults. Was there a fourth episode yet? Did I miss that?
It just released today, actually.
Son of a bitch, I didn't watch it.
And no, that's what I mean is like the 4 episodes, 2 sex scenes.
Dun dun dun. Are they both
Dun,
in
dun,
episode
dun.
4?
No, there's one in the first episode, a sex scene, and then there's one in the fourth
there you
episode
go.
here.
I think wasn't the first one the traditional like cut to the drapes or the
The
balcony
morning after
the balcony window, and then it goes to the morning. Yeah, I mean, which is still it's still refreshing to even do that much in an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, outside of like very borderline etchy ones,
I'm honestly surprised though that this one has a higher score than I'm Getting Married to a Girl That I Hate in Class, because that one is actually more fun than this, even though this is still a good show. I did really like this last episode, particularly with the I Have a Crush at Work, particularly with Yue's anxiety over like her product. I found that part particularly relatable, doing like a lot of YouTube content and stuff myself. Like you put something out there, you're like, oh wow, okay, I put a lot of effort in this, I hope it's successful, and then you watch the views sort of like trickle in, and it's like, okay.
Do you think that part of the reason it might be getting rated higher is just for the fact that they aren't doing the will they won't they for like an entire season or two? It's just going they're actually together as a couple, and people at least in the Western anime viewing community are ready. Like I can't tell you, I know we all liked it, maybe not as much as Biggles didn't as much as us, but Dangers in My Heart, because it had the payoff relatively quickly for an anime.
Yeah, it's not usual for like a romance anime to start with the couple together. You can point to something like Shikimori Isn't Just a Cutie, or I forget what the series is. But I Have a Crush at Work does the same thing. And this one I feel like has decently written characters. I like the fact that it hasn't gone too terribly much into like massive relationship drama issues. That is one thing. One thing I don't care for much about shoujo romance is it starts doing a lot of like the touchy-feely, introspective, drama-heavy elements of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
This one focuses more so just on the fact that like, oh, they're a new couple, they're getting along, this is how their relationship progresses.
I really like the coworkers too. Like the one on the top left is like your lush, and she's like always trying to hook up with or not like trying to hook up, but she's like all over him at the baseball game. So episode 3, because it had baseball in it, was my favorite, as a big baseball fan. I am a saint. Look at that. I've earned it. Okay.
He's a troll, but he's a troll that gave me money Saturday. So you know what? It's
dun, dun, dun. All right. So, but like this one has like a blog, the one on the bottom left, she has like a blog. And that actually helps Yue with her job, because she's like, I need to ask you, even though you're in the accounting department. And they almost got caught in episode 3. So we'll see. We'll see how other stuff goes. I know I didn't get to see 4 because I didn't know what day this came out, and I thought you said Tuesday, so I didn't go watch it because it says it's supposed to be on Crunchyroll and it's not on there. So
my sources can be a little bit erratic. I can get things up to a week earlier than they should be releasing.
That's amazing.
Okay, Jack Sparrow.
No. Jack Sparrow. No, I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Oh, you're Elizabeth Swan. She becomes the pirate king. in the third one.
I'm Monkey D. Luffy, you motherfucker.
So
I'm gonna wrap my fucking fist around the world so I can operate you like a puppet.
Hey, let's just be honest. We were talking about Pirates of the Caribbean just then. So I gave you the Pirate King from that.
I'm sorry, but there's only one Pirate King to talk about, and it's Monkey D. Luffy.
If you say
I'm
so.
not even a One Piece. I'm not even like a huge One Piece fan.
Well, I don't know, man. We weren't talking anime right there. We said Jack Sparrow, which is Pirates of the Caribbean.
You
The
can
Pirate
suck
King in
my
that.
fucking
The
Sparrow.
Pirate King in that is Elizabeth Swann, and you are kind of ladylike. So,
What do
I'll
you
give
mean? I have more of a beard than you, you motherfucker.
That's because I can't grow facial hair.
Yeah, you bitch. Ladylike.
But yeah, overall, this is good. Little Chad, you have anything else you want to say about it?
I mean, I like I said, I just appreciate. I think I do enjoy the married to the girl you dislike better. I think it's more funny, and for these kind of shows, I like the humor. I don't. This one is more of a dramedy kind of thing. So I like it when it's more just overtly funny, but I do really like that they have a couple that's together from episode 1. So it's actually it's keeping me invested just because they're actually together and they're doing the stuff like, oh, they're hiding it. And for me, it brings back memories because I started dating my wife when we were co-workers and had to do a similar "don't let people know you're together" because we are, co-workers and not supposed. At the time, this was when all businesses in the '90s had those non-fraternization policies. And since then, they've all given up and just have you can date, but you just don't get into trouble. kind of policy.
No fucking your coworkers whatsoever, as if anyone ever listened to that.
Yeah, that's why all the HR departments gave up and made it the more reasonable, like, hey, just don't do stupid things at work.
I mean, I worked in a restaurant and the turnover was so crazy there was just new people sleep with all the time. All right, so okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the one thing I do like about this is it may not be as funny as I'm getting married to a girl in class that I hate, but it's definitely a decent show to just like unwind to. Like, if you want something wholesome and fun to watch, it's good.
Mm-hmm. All right, speaking of something else that is wholesome and it's also kind of a romance, I fell in love with an Okinawan girl, but I just wish I knew what she was saying. And this one has someone who is worthy of the love, but doesn't really get it. Kana Higa, the blonde right there.
Mm-hmm.
And is the guy even in this? Oh, there he is. He's like hiding in the.
He's in the back.
He's hiding in there. So this is like your public service announcement. Oh, the Beast has joined the Biggles Brigade. I got something.
I need to.
Thank you for joining the Biggles Brigade.
A junior Gooner Knight.
Yes.
I was talking about this one and someone on Saturday, and someone in my chat was saying that he has a feeling that Best Girl Kana will end up the winner in all of this. And I kind of hope he's right because of the two characters. I like her more.
She's so much the better character.
Yeah, and she actually can speak and communicate with them without a translator.
And I hope the story arc, and I haven't read this one. Is this like a regular only? I don't know, but I'd like to think that the story arc is going to be that he realizes that just liking her because she looks cute is not really a good, the basis of the good relationship, and it's the friend who's been with him all along that is the right Best Girl.
Yes.
No, we got a lot of gifted memberships.
We got 5 gifted memberships from the Beast 808, and they go to Slender Dad, who isn't here making fun of me about my anime takes. David Henry or Harvey got one. Yep, sorry, I can't read. Tabitha got one. Bad Take Bojin got one. Sleazy got one. A Money Wilson with the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Beast. And then Dan Blackroyd bullied me to take off the hat because I had my cosplays, so my hair is blonde. Okay.
We have Super Saiyan Biggles tonight.
Yeah, my hair is like enough to where I could just spike it and go Super Saiyan right off the rip, that half Saiyan Super Saiyan though, because my hair doesn't look like an actual Saiyan. Trying hard to find good anime talk is hard. Glad to be here. Blessing everyone. Good to see you here. We have Crimson Law, who does talk anime too. Little Chad, you talk on your channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all three of us on our channels talk. I'm the tracksuit Gohan. Damn, rip me. And I'm also on Sporking News podcasts like once a month on Thursdays, and we talk anime over there as well. But that one is really just us. Biggles isn't Super Saiyan, just Super Saiyan 2. Oh, so I'm electrifying. I got it. So we're talking about this one right here, and it's kind of like a PSA for learning the culture of Okinawa. And we learned that whistling is called fifi. You got a fifi, and I can't whistle like that. But there was like Kana. They're like, look at Kana's tongue, and she's like,
she's really embarrassed about it, and the other friend is just teasing her.
Yeah, because the other friend found out that she likes him, and she's just like bullying him or bullying her at all costs to get them to like notice it. But it's great. I like it. Like one of the best things is it's just fun. Like the episode with the festival where he's like, what is wrong with her? Like she's got the makeup on and it's all goofy and she's dancing. Like he's like, everybody else looks like they're like in sync with their dancing.
I also predicted it since the beginning of the last episode is a thing. I kind of predicted that that's where it was going to go.
It's just silly, man. But you get to learn about the culture, and that's cool. And then you get all the like separate translations. You get like your subtitles that make zero sense because you have no idea what the hell she's saying.
It's literally just translating it phonetically. That's all it is doing.
and I have no idea what's going on. And then there's like pink words and like blue words, and it's like the bird says hi, or like just something like that, like randomly, and be like, what the fuck is she talking about?
I just love listening to her babble, and it's just incoherent letters like on the bottom of the screen for the subtitling. I'm just like, this is great. Like this is fucking funny. Meanwhile, I'm secretly sitting here like, you don't deserve all the attention. Kana is the better girl, but you are fun nonetheless.
Yeah, I definitely. Here, actually, let me throw this up. Now we're small. Is that okay, guys? Are you guys okay with us being small, or do you want us to be bigger again?
I've always been small.
Well, I'm sorry. My condolences.
Why do you think I've never had an actual girlfriend?
All right, good. Because
good.
sorry. I was reading it.
This retarded motherfucker better not be reproducing.
That too, but still. So yeah, this one's a lot of fun. It talks about like languages and stuff. And I'm going to let you guys talk about your favorite one now. So I don't.
Are you talking about the pinnacle of culture that is 100 girlfriends who really like you?
Yeah. So
Sorry.
I'm only on episode 6
of season 1.
So they might bully me a little too hard, but it's kind of funny. I like it.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of really funny.
It is absolutely batshit insane. That is what it is.
It is peak. It is self-aware of all the harem tropes possible and leans into them in the funniest of ways. It's one of the it's Kona. I would say it's Konosuba level for what Konosuba does for isekai. 100 Girlfriend does for harem anime.
Absolutely lampoon all the fucking tropes of the genre. Yes. Like this
Exactly.
just lays into it.
But the funny thing is, just like Konosuba, even as it's lampooning all the tropes of the genre, it is still one of the great representations of the genre, which is perfect.
Yeah, so I just finished the suit art where it had, or swimsuit, the pool arc where there's the ReZero jokes that you talk about. And they're all like, I didn't want to, or the tsundere is like, I'm not going swimming because she has smaller boobs than the other two girls, so she's like self-conscious. And he's like, I think he says I like all kinds of boobs or whatever. And then there was a whole scene where they're like,
man of culture.
And then he's like, do you approve of my boobs? What about my boobs? And everybody, and while all this is going on, Shizuka, the little girl who talks with her like phone,
the cell phone app,
yeah, her phone dies and she's like stranded on a little island because she can't swim. And she's just like, eh. And he's like, I hear you. And he comes and saves her.
Isn't Shizuka older than the first three characters? She's a second year, if I'm not mistaken.
She's older than the other three girlfriends right now. Yeah. But she's just really, really tiny.
Yes.
So
that's the funniest part, is she's like one of the smallest ones there, but she's also one of the older ones.
Yeah.
And like it actually gets really weird because generally, like, the older the character is in this series, the smaller they are. Like Kusuri, for example.
I haven't met her. But go ahead.
Oh, you're in. If you haven't met Kusuri yet, you're in for a trip. But yeah, this one, honestly, like, going into it, I figured it would end up being like a guilty pleasure of mine when I started reading the manga. And I was like, you know what? This is actually like surprisingly well written. It's self-aware in all the right ways. It still does like all of its characters pretty well for how tropey they can be. And it just, because it just decides it's gonna absolutely have no limits, it does some absolute, it does the Konosuba thing of just making me laugh so hard I don't remember the last time I've laughed that hard. And I'm really hoping they get to the apocalypse scenario this season, because that would be fucking funny.
The food fight was amazing. Not food fight, I guess, eating contest. The food eating contest with like, how can you eat so much? The power of love. I was able to eat this much because of love. Oh, and so yeah, we added our. I like the new. What is Headphones Girl's name? You start.
Kudumi?
Yeah, we're starting to get to the point where once, unless the new one that gets added is your like fave or a possible best girl candidate, you're not going to be remembering the names much, because we're at what? We're at 8 and maybe 9 if we add the maid that we just got in.
I struggle with some of the character names in like the later. I think where I'm at, he's close to 20 now, where I am in the manga.
Yeah, I mean, I by the time we get to 100, you're gonna remember you're probably 4 or 5 best girls, and that's where you're gonna be at. Like,
I mean, it's impossible to forget the fucking Harazonas just because they're
mother-daughter combo.
Yeah,
the Wando
they're
combo.
both crazies.
The Hakari is the source of like 95% of the memes from this show. In fact, I think yesterday's episode is going to produce another 10% of just like all of the memes for the show will be replaced. 10% of them will be replaced just with her specific section of that show. I don't know how Biggles being monetized, how descriptive we can be on what was going on.
We've already said some pretty demonetizable stuff.
That's true. And the camera angles from her yesterday alone were demonetizable. Just
I just gotta make a point though, like when they did the body swap thing, the fact that she still acted the same,
yep.
or at least whoever was in her body still acted the same is.
I liked when he's looking at the other girls and he's seeing and he's like, oh my god, that body, but she's still so tsundere. Like, or she's still a mother, but she's in the tiniest body. She's still because the mommy girlfriend got transferred into doctor who makes herself a kid body.
The drug addict.
The drug addict. I'm gonna call her Little Pharma. Doctor to rip off another anime.
That's like legitimately her name actually does mean medicine. That's the funniest part.
Nice. I mean, it's just so good. It's hilarious. Like the stuff you get. Like there she is. Yeah, Yakuzan, Kusuri, whatever. I mean, I just like how you start identifying the girlfriends by trope. There's mommy girlfriend. There's tsundere girlfriend.
Yeah,
there's super shy girlfriend.
Yeah, when there's this many characters in a series, it's literally like all you have to try and distinguish them from each other to keep them from like bleeding over into the next category. It being so over the top with the trope actually helps distinguish the characters from each other.
I know, like we've got our rainbow-eyed maid who never opens her eyes. I tricked her because I knew she would never laugh at her master. Oh. It was you're Biggles, I think what would that be? There's 12. Is there 12 or 13 in season 1?
I believe there's 12.
So you're probably about 8 episodes from getting to where this is happening.
All right. Well, I'll try to finish it before next week.
Biggles, look at that score, man. Look at that score. This is peak.
8.16. If it was peak, it'd be a perfect 10. And they all
voted against
it.
There's nothing that's a perfect 10.
Anything that didn't vote a 10 on it has failed us, apparently.
The closest we have gotten is
Kaiju number 8.
The closest we have gotten is a 9.31, and that's Freerun right now.
Yeah, is it? Click up Kaiju number 8 and let's see what that's.
You rated. Shut your whore mouth. They're wrong. Okay. I
don't know. Kaiju number 8's kind of mid.
So that's okay.
I'll be honest. I haven't. Solo Leveling has picked up the fights to another level this season so far. I've been really enjoying it. Like the first. I mean, we're 3 episodes into the new season of Solo Leveling, and the fight budget for this anime is just ridiculous. Like when you look at what happened to One Punch Man for season 2 and then what they're doing with Solo Leveling in its second season, it's like, geez, come on.
Well,
we can see it that it's done right.
I think that second episode did a lot for it, particularly with like the finishing up the Red Dungeon arc. That fight with like with Jinwoo, and then it's Ingress and Iron he had at the time when he was fighting the elf guy. That was a really, really good fight scene. Probably the best episode the series has had so far, but we're going to see some more interesting stuff because I have read the manhwa for this. I am expecting them to get to a certain point in the story that I'm really excited to see animated, because it'll probably be another one of those moments where like Solo Leveling just absolutely breaks the internet with fight animation.
Are we gonna get the I mean, I'm a little bit up on the manga. I kind of go and I read it when I'm in Books a Million or something. The are we getting the island invasion arc this season?
I'm hoping we get all the way to Jeju Island, But I'm pretty certain we're going to see, at the very least, the end of the demon castle.
Ooh, the
Which
last demon fight is that's when he unlocks the authority, right? Well, never mind.
well,
Look
doesn't
what
that
you're
transition
spoiling.
right into Jeju Island? Like the reason he doesn't go is because he wants to complete that thing.
I think that's how the sequence goes, but they may change it for the anime
Who knows?
because I feel like based on if I was doing the anime, I would probably the island invasion would probably be season 3 or the second core of season 2.
I don't know if they could do an entire. Well, maybe I don't know if they could do 12 episodes on just Jeju Island alone, though.
That's true. I mean,
That's the issue.
if you look at the source material manhwa, it does flow really quick. Like the volumes it's gone through. I mean, the like one whole volume was basically that red gate, and they did it in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And that's because that's because when you're looking at the manhwa, you're basically looking at a storyboard, and it'll flow much faster in animation, like multiple pages, like I'd probably say whole chapters are just like 20 to 30 seconds of actual animated fight sequence.
Mm-hmm. So I'm only on episode 2 because I waited for the dub. The red gate was fucking awesome. The part at the end had me dying where he's made it sound kind of like he hooked up with her even though he didn't. And the rich kid is like
jailbait arc starting now.
Jailbreak arc starting now. Yeah, it's super funny from the the anime boys that we sometimes feature on the channel, where they had the sister leveling and now it's the jailbait leveling.
Don't worry, the only the neighbors will hear us.
I will say though, I did watch a little bit of the dub section for that fight.
Mhm.
Patrick Sates as or voicing the guy who
the A rank.
Yeah, the A ranker was great. Like I don't think I've ever heard him do a dub where he sucks.
He's awesome.
He does fantastic work with English dubs.
Yeah, he's awesome. And you can always tell who he is too. Like in Re:Zero, he's the fruit vendor.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing is you have the guy who plays like fucking Endeavor as some random ass fruit vendor who appears twice in the series.
Dude, I think I heard him as a side character who's like there for like 5 seconds in like a thing, and he has like one line, and you're like, they got him for one line, and he's just like a side character. It's like in Claymore episode 7, they have Chris Sabat there for like one episode, and he says maybe like 4 or 5 lines, and then he's done. Who is also the redhead guy who I did not expect him to actually change into like a white tiger, and that's why they got their name. Like, is because he actually turns into a white tiger, which I thought was really fucking cool. And he's going to fight that guy, or he was about to fight the guy who whose brother Jinwoo killed in the first season. But yeah,
he just got effed up by his dad. So,
right.
Are you not caught up on that?
He's only on episode 2. He hasn't.
I'm only on episode 2.
Oh, okay.
I was like, who got fucked up by their dad?
You'll get there.
I know Jinwoo's dad was an S-rank hunter, but I thought he was dead. And the only people that were still alive are him and
just catch up on the next 2 episodes and you'll understand.
I mean, we're talking like 44 minutes of viewing. You can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it fucking tonight. Why not? I really like Alec, the voice actor who plays Jinwoo. So I listening to the dub. But yeah, like the A rank, he's like, I knew I could count on you, as he comes in and then he just fucking kills him and makes him arise to help fight the the thing, and he's like, "You're iron now," and he's just like trying to smash him, and he's like, "It's over, man, like stop." And
he's like, "You got to get that under control. Maybe this might be a problem."
and then the mages are like, "Yeah," and I'm just laughing my ass off.
That won't be the only out of control shadow in this series or minion in this series, but he's certainly the first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, depending on their wills, it's a thing that he has to deal with.
Yeah, I really like or Irons. What is his name? The first knight?
Ingress.
Ingress, yeah, Ingress. But yeah, I think this is awesome show. You know, I don't need a plot in this one. Just fucking this action is so awesome that I don't care what's going on.
Yeah, this one is literally just a flashy lights, cool fights kind of series. Its story is okay. I got into a conversation with someone about like, oh, well, it's actually deeper than you think. I'm like, these characters are some of the most uncompelling characters I've ever met.
Mhm.
I mean, like their motivations are either basic or non-existent,
Mhm.
and their depth is about as deep as a puddle. So your whole thing about gods and all this that you're going off about, I mean, given what I've read of the story and seen of the anime, it's like I don't know where you're pulling this stuff.
I think she has an interesting character, and I think that's about it.
What?
Chahane.
Chahane. It's funny because I'm just getting used to the Japanese naming convention with all the anime I watch, and then I have to start learning the Korean one with all the manhwas coming in.
No, yeah.
We'll just ignore all of the Chinese ones with the Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, speaking of.
At least Japanese anime, when they do, at least when that's one of the reasons I like isekai. They'll start. And what is your name? Scarlet. Okay, it's Scarlet. Got it.
So do we go to Apothecary Diaries or do we go to the one with someone named Scarlet?
Oh, because I just mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which one do you want for your swap?
I don't mind.
They're well, Apothecary is like A tier like anime. It depends on where you want to go.
All right, then we'll go to shit. We've been going with good, but now we'll go to shit, or not fully shit, but it's interesting.
This is what I would. If it had a dub, this would be pure background noise, but enjoyable background noise.
Pretty much.
Like this is what was the like Remonster last season or 2 seasons ago? Whenever that came out in 2024, that was purely acceptable background noise because that was a same day dub drop. Mm-hmm. So I would just put it on. There was nothing I had to really pay attention to. Occasionally I'll look over and there's, like hot anime girls running around the screen, but nothing I had to like. The story's not so deep that I couldn't look away, miss subtitles for a couple minutes, and come back in and be right back where I needed to be.
And this one actually like explains its magic system more and more. Like I know Crimson didn't watch the newest episode, which I think actually is episode 5, right? I think
so it would be episode
this
5.
one is further along by a couple episodes.
No, I don't. Here, I'll give it a fine. It's fine. So they actually added new stuff to the magic system, how it works. There's now a wolf girl who's like a werewolf. He's now like
wolf girl, as in like Delta from the Eminence and Shadow kind of wolf girl.
She looks somewhat like Delta, and the first thing she did was jump on top of Liam, kind of like how Delta jumps on Sid. But
all right, now I'm going to quote Biggles. You shut your whore mouth comparing this to Eminence and Shadow in any way.
You shut your whore mouth and
I was about to say,
what I was saying.
If it's not if it's not a wolf girl like Delta, I'm not interested.
And then I was going to say, and then nothing else is like it for the rest of the fucking episode. But like the very first thing, she like jumps on him like Delta jumps on Sid, and that's it. that's where the relationship to kind of like Delta ends. That's it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Let me finish my sentence.
I'm sorry. Eminence in Shadow is one of my favorite like edgelord over the top isekais.
God, it's
so good. But it's like hilariously good retarded.
I know.
I wish Delta was in it more because her being basically just a big dumb golden retriever type is hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. Is Epsilon the one that uses the slime suits to make
her boobs bigger? Yep.
Yes.
And constantly gets embarrassed when the falsies fall out.
Yes.
And looks at him. We didn't see anything, Epsilon. No, no, don't kill us.
We saw nothing. Well, the funny thing is the manga from when I was reading it, I got maybe I think like 20 chapters in before I stopped. There's like, compared to the anime, there's almost like no fan service at all. And like even her like boob scenes is like barely a thing when I was reading it. So the all the fan service is like mainly the anime.
I'm looking forward to the movie.
The superior adaptation.
Yes, Apothecary Diaries is really good stuff. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
It is not just Apothecary Diaries is like peak real storytelling anime. Eminence in Shadow is peak trash. I love it.
His friend is Potato and there's Perv Asshat, and you're just like, what the fuck are the names of these people?
Okay, so to steer the conversation back to the isekai we should be talking about, I'm a noble on the brink of ruin. I agree that this is the one you would listen to as just a dub while you play a video game or something. Like, I would turn this on and like start blasting through ranks in Monster Hunter or something. That's what I would do with this show. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really like. You can say it does a good job with its magic system, but I'm not too terribly impressed with it. Even the magic system, like, there's a lot of stuff happening rapid fire that makes it feel like it really isn't all that big of a deal. Like Jobless Reincarnation, you see Rudy's like skill with magic develop over like 2 full seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets better and better and constantly improves his magic, and you get to see how he uses it differently in every fight because he learns. This, it's just like, oh, I've got a new spell and now I'm even more overpowered.
Yeah,
not to mention Jobless Reincarnation. They show when he teaches Sylphie, like he had a little bit of a head start in that he had a different mindset from being from another world, but he's not so special that other people can't start pulling off some of the stuff he does, like with no chanting, like with no speak casting and things like that. Mm-hmm. So it early on, they also show like Rudy is going to have to work. He can't just coast. I mean, I love Mushoku Tensei, so I'm going to talk about it. There's the part, obviously where he gets one shot in the fight with Orsted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rudy is never like seen, like, even though he's got a lot of power, Jobless Reincarnation goes out of its way to basically humble him constantly as he's on his journey of growth.
I like the part where, like, while they're on their travels in the demon continent, he gets the eye from Kishirika, whatever her name, the demon empress.
Yep.
And he is immediately able to like be Eris in like an actual fight because he can predict her movements. And he gets all cocky and then Ruijerd beats the shit out of him.
Yeah,
because he just absolutely stomps the kid to put him back in his place.
Because like even knowing the movement wasn't enough to block how fast and good he was. Which was perfect. I mean, that's my point. Like even when ReZero gives with one hand to Rudy, it takes away. It was like
wrong anime.
ReZero,
Subaru.
Sorry, Mushoku Tensei. To me, they're intertwined as peak. They're
literally the two most perfect
the authors
isekais you can find.
And the authors are buddies, and it all it's almost like.
And the main characters' voice actors are married now, right?
No, not quite.
Oh,
well, okay. Actually. Yeah, actually, technically, because depending on how you want to look at it, the voice actor, Japanese voice actor for Subaru is the voice actor for Roxy's dad, and the Japanese voice actor for Rudius is the voice of Puck. So technically, both men just married their love interest's father.
Nice.
figure.
Well done. Well done. But yeah, this one, it just shows him growing, like learning magic in like one episode. But I think it was like 6 months time period that he learned it all. And then when he absorbed the dragon, he got like even more powers. And now in this newest episode, there is an item that gives them even more powers. So this is like an overpowered kind of shit. I don't think he's going to struggle ever. So
It's your stereotypical power fantasy reincarnation.
Which is why it's the background show. Like
Mhm.
the Remonster was the same way. He was like, oh, he's reincarnated as a goblin and has the I can get every skill if I eat, whatever I beat. He was super overpowered by episode 1.5. Like halfway through the second episode, he was so OP, you knew nothing was going to actually be a problem for him. But it was good background noise. I don't think this is one I'll ever watch again after this season. And I don't think I'll probably ever seek it out. I won't try to purchase any physical media or merch. It'll be watched and forgotten quickly.
Yeah.
And there's usually about a dozen isekai a year that are like this, where they're not so bad that they're unwatchable, but they're not memorable really in any way.
All right. Speaking of another one that's not really memorable in any way.
I thought you were gonna bring up Fruit Master.
Oh no, we stopped talking about that. That fucking sucks so much balls.
Okay, I actually still watch it. I would put Fruit Master above the one we just talked about.
Really? I thought Fruit Master's
I wouldn't.
I thought awful. The
Fruit Master was fucking ass.
What did you watch beyond the second episode?
No, because everything was a fucking duplication of another series. It is literally the dynamic of the captain and Kafka from Kaiju number 8, One Piece's power system, and a bland, generic ass fucking fantasy world.
And awful fights.
Oh, also, they ripped off fucking Reinhardt from ReZero. Sword Saint, yeah, fuck you. No.
Oh, I mean, it's not like it's the first anime to reuse the Sword Saint as a skill.
I know.
It's trash. But let's talk about this one.
I would say go back, and if you watch it, the newer episodes, the fights have gotten a little better. And the show, I would say the show is at least as good or better than whatever the name of that the learning magic because I'm a noble or
I'm dropping that one too because I think they both suck. I don't want to watch them. Look, I could bring up my anime list right now. I have 27 shows that I'm currently trying to watch all at once for this season. If I can drop something, I'm gonna, and that one's like the first on the chopping block. Well, Fruit Master was the first on the chopping block, and then the Noble one is also going because I just don't like where it's going.
And the one he'll never drop is Baneka.
I'm gonna fucking drop you off a bridge, you dumb cunt.
All right, perfect. So this one has a cool looking magic system, but doesn't really ever explain it. It's like skill power ups. He gets slave girls. And he's like, oh no, we're equals. Maple goes from a deadly spider to a girl spider. So now he's building his own fucking harem. And he made underwears for the girls. He's starting to get like really pervy, like super pervy. And the girls are like, man, he's kind of a pussy. He didn't make a move on us. So that's my thoughts on this.
Wait, how is he getting pervy?
He's like he makes like figures of them. And he's like, now I can measure them without knowing. And then he's like, ooh, you have to have your underwears like this, and like making them and just being pervy.
She came to him with like a very simple design for what would have been like medieval underwear, and he was like, no, girls' underwear looks like this.
I know, but he's being pervy about it when he's like thinking about it. When he's like making it, he's like, oh, I can't do this because he's even like admitting that he's being pervy.
Okay, so you think if you were an apothecary in another world and you had the power to make your slave girls underwear that looked like modern lingerie, you wouldn't be having indecent thoughts going through your brain?
I
don't know. I think of all the reasons to go on to like knock this show for being generic isekai, like the idea that he had pervy thoughts about his slave.
Well, that's not girls. Why I'm saying it's. I'm not saying that's why it's generic. I'm just saying he's starting to get pervy. Like episode 4, he had like a whole bunch of pervy thoughts throughout the entire episode, even before the underwear. And he mentions that he has to stop being pervy.
This is another one I stopped watching after episode 2, so I'm just gonna let you guys duke it out.
I didn't say anything bad about Maple. I just said now Maple the Death Spider is now like a girl, like an actual girl spider.
Yep, she became
Spider Girl,
an arachne,
sure,
or whatever.
Arachne.
Oh, I have one of those up on my shelf.
Yeah, is it a good one?
So I'm a spider. So what?
Oh yeah. You love that, from what I remember.
No, So I'm a Spider. So what is great.
I haven't watched it.
The story, yes. The anime adaptation, I don't want to talk about that second half of the anime. That was rough.
I think they went a little too non-linear all over the place, and it screwed things up a little with how.
Well, that's how the story is written, because it's kind of one of those things where you don't realize that the characters are reincarnated into different time periods.
Which is what's happening in this show, by the way, too. Because he was reincarnated one year before the other characters.
The difference is Kumoko is actually a really fucking funny protagonist because she's skitzed out. There's no other way to say that. She's crazy.
One of the main reasons why I'm still watching this is it has a dub already. And the other reason why I'm still watching it is I want to see what happens with the 1 year gap. So I'm hoping, because he's just being warned about the kingdom again. So I'm hoping something happens here that makes it even more fun. But if it was probably just a sub, I probably would have dropped it already. But it's not bad. This would be another background.
No, this one legitimately went into my watch it later category. It's not bad to the point where I won't watch it. It's just I don't want to watch it right now. It's one of those things where I'll probably catch up on it in between seasons when I have like no anime to watch.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Spirian. Let's see. What shall we talk about now? Here, let's talk about this one because I know you like this one.
Yes,
it's funny how the lead doctor looks a lot like what I would picture like the middle early 20s version of the doctor girl from 100 Girlfriends would look like as a brunette. Like if you just make her a brunette and like pure brunette,
or make her have like reddish hair.
Yes, exactly. Doesn't it? Now you see it, right?
Yes, I never thought about that. No, I like the storytelling for this one. But then again, I do tend to really enjoy like a good mystery series. I liked Inspector, I like the Apothecary Diaries, and this all for the same reason. It does a really good job of like piquing my curiosity with its storytelling and setting up a good mystery.
I think I'm going to wait for a dub for this one. I've watched 4 episodes. I'm going to definitely watch episode 5 though. But I think I'm going to wait for a dub, just because I just keep falling asleep during this. And I have to keep rewinding and then rereading. And, but I think it's cool. Episode 4, it starts off with like someone catching fire, and then it went to an entirely different plot and story. And then at the end of the episode, it's like someone caught fire again.
It's the same person. They just tied it back together.
And they were like, oh, it's the curse of this same, or of the person.
Yeah, because now they're going into the actual curse that the Omyoji was known to have put on people, that they all died burning to death.
And I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, did I need this other part? Like, I was like, I thought this was going to be about people catching on fire, and they weren't. So now I'm like, I gotta watch episode 5 so
this,
I find out what happens.
I think this is giving us has given us some clues as to what's actually going on with the fires and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see how they end up tying it all together, because, well, it seems like this is based on some like actual real like history and stuff. So them tying it all together in the next episode, I feel like is better than just trying to cram it all into one and only focus on the fires.
Mm-hmm. But I thought it was such a cool concept, and I had to wait a week. So I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm just going to have to watch it next week. But yeah, I think after episode 5, I'm just going to wait for a dub. But I really like the nurses and her, and I don't like the one on the bottom right, like the lady from the psych ward. She just kind of annoys me.
That isn't the lady from the psych ward. That is the doctor's older sister.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, the one who at the end of episode 2 chews our tsundere little lady out for breaking rules and causing problems.
Does it? Oh, the other one has purple hair but glasses, right?
I think she has more brownish hair.
Oh, okay. Well, then I actually don't mind the bottom right girl. I just don't like the psych ward lady. She seems like she gets more in the way that actually helps. She's our antagonist.
She needs to remove the stick from her rectum.
She probably likes that. That's probably her fun time.
Are you saying she's like a certain dragon from Era Fueta?
No, she's nowhere as fun.
In which way? She has the stick up her ass, or she likes the stick up her ass?
I'm saying the like part, because we all know that's how he tamed the dragon.
Was putting a stick up her ass?
Yes.
Have you not seen Era Fueta?
I have. It's from Commonplace to World's Strongest. I don't really care much for it.
How do you?
I don't either, but I've at least seen the first.
I like Tio.
Yeah, Tio. Remember he brought like the rod from God, the carbon, like the tungsten rod, and he.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Gonna kick the dragon in a scaly asshole.
And then everyone around it was like, "What are you? Oh, you're such a problem." I'm not doing it. It's her. She's the problem.
I think it got worse when she said she was going to transform, but then asked for the thing to be removed because it would destroy her.
Yeah, it'll destroy me when I go back to a different form. And what is even worse is when they have the dinner party the next day at the like formal normal house, and she's like, "So how did you start hanging?" Well, you see, he thrust. It was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I want Hajime to take my virginity too.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we're going to switch over to a different one, which this score is slanderous. I want to escape.
Terrible score. It is hilarious.
So I gave it a 10 to try to help raise the score. I think this is probably one of the funnier ones in the whole season. This poor girl, like the first episode is like heartbreaking, and then at the end, I also don't like UA. UA is probably one of the reasons why I hate the fucking show.
All right.
And she's in season 3, she kind of like calms down, but fuck it. I don't want to talk about it. All right, so let's talk about this one. It's like heartbreaking in the beginning, and then he thinks he's like breaking up with her because he's trying to make her jealous. And she's just like the happiest person in the world. She's like, goes to her brother, does that mean we can go home? So she runs home.
The best was in the first episode when she's like, where they cut, because you've seen it so many times in anime, where they just show her face, like they cover the top, and it's just like her mouth, and it looks like she's about to like, break down crying. And instead they cut to the full wide shot, and she's just like beaming, so happy. And she's like, "What, you thought I'd be upset? No, This is amazing. I'm so happy to be done with you." Oh.
No, I will say that one thing I haven't liked about this story, it's been pretty good so far. This latest, like the last 2 episodes, I feel like they dragged her all the way back to the palace really fucking quickly, and it's been kind of depressing. Like sitting there, just like going back to the life I hated. Clark needs to be punched in the face for one.
Yeah.
Someone needs to deck the motherfucker.
Yeah. One of the parts I really liked was in this newest episode. Her brother's like, "Well, you did fucking jump out a window and break it, so now you have to deal with the consequences of your actions, young lady, and you have to stay in this fucking room."
I think one of the things people that's causing it to get a lower score is effectively that first part of the series where it's like super depressing and drama heavy.
Well, you know what? I think this might be a 9. All right. So me going a 10 is fine. It's a masterpiece. I love it. No one can tell me otherwise. How
I
dare
gave
they
it an
rate it a
8, honestly.
5.7? See, an 8 is fine, right? Like,
No, an 8 is a good series.
Mm-hmm.
Like anywhere from like 7 to 9 is fine for this, but a 5.72, fuck you guys, you 3,067 fuckers. But
See, I just wanted Letitia to just be able to live her life and enjoy things, and this motherfucker Clark is being an absolute fucking ass.
yeah, I hope he gets hit by a medieval bus or whatever those are.
A carriage drawn by 6 horses.
Just like Handsome Combe. But he's like, the brother is like, yeah, just tell him you'll never say his name again, and he'll stop being like super aggressive. And she's like, I will never say your name. And then she like closes the door and starts laughing at him and like goes away. This is just super funny. I fucking love watching this. I wish it was done and dubbed so I could like just watch it over and over again. But it's super funny. Other than that first like sadness in the first episode. Anybody else have anything fun to say about this one?
No, I mean, I just highly recommend it. For me, it's part of my Sunday comedy block since 100 Girlfriends also drops on Sunday. So it's two kind of different comedies, but man, have I enjoyed it. This is one I can watch with my wife and son, and I don't have to worry about any issues. 100 Girlfriends, I'm not watching with the 10-year-old in the room. Yeah. But this one is perfectly funny because
you can thank the mother-daughter combo for that one.
Yeah. But this one, the comedy is very safe for families. There's not anything really risque, at least so far. It's all kind of situational, like big slapstick kind of comedy, or it's one of those rare anime comedies that you can watch with your family too.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Now, I know you guys don't really like this one. I really like it. And it should not be rated higher than our last anime, but it is. So this one is basically just like a salaryman gets taken to another world and he's solving problems. And there's like culture gaps in it that makes it funny every now and then. And I know Crimson didn't like how early it didn't show how they were solving the problems, and now it's showing more how they're solving the problems along the way. I think Crimson has this on watch later, right?
This is one that I'll probably come back to with a dub.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I think it's higher rated because it hits a lot more of the traditional things fans want, and like look right in the picture, you can see that the character design of our lead female is more vote friendly than the character design for quitting princess lessons.
Well, yeah. I was talking with a friend Saturday while I was doing my usual like binge to catch up on everything for the week, and he actually really enjoys this series, and he is like huge on like trash isekais.
So this one, so in the last or 2 episodes ago, because he doesn't understand the culture. He gave her basically a wedding ring, and he basically proposed, and he doesn't know it. So the next episode, they think they're going on a date. So because uh, they have different cultures on how they dress, the ogre princess or whatever that's working for him is like, no, you should dress more like appropriate for like what he likes, right? And he like gives her compliments about it, and then he buys basically a wedding chalice that he shares with them, and he gets, so he's doing all this stuff that you would do for like a girlfriend, and he just doesn't know it. So she's like, oh my god, he's in love with me, we're going to get married. And uh it's just so funny because I really hope she doesn't get hurt from all of this, and I hope he realizes that like he likes her. And like I do really like the bar scenes too, Beast. The bar scenes are really good. I think they're like little things inside of his head though. Um, I'm not 100% sure because I don't see her ever dressing up in a uh, and I don't see her ever dressing up in a full pantsuit, but we'll see. Um, yeah, and then yeah, they're basically married, and she's extremely jealous, and he has no fucking clue. Yeah, he's like accidentally like tormenting this girl. You know what? I'm going to give this a 7. Um, yeah, the bar scenes are his power manifest. Oh, I thought he didn't have a power, and those were just like his thoughts inside of his head, how he processes his situations.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought it was. It was just kind of like him. It's a visual representation of his inspiration on how to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess that is his again using the power broadly, that he's just a good bureaucrat.
Yeah. But I don't want to use that as a segue to the other one because I want to save that for last because it's the best. Um, so yeah, this one's a lot of fun. I really hope she gets what she wants. Let's go with that. And going to something else that I'm hoping they get what they want is this one. So I think the girl or in this last episode they just talk about a dream he wants to succeed in, and they're all going to go. And I think they said it was the last place he saw his father. So this is very similar to Healer from the last one or last season. I'm Healer banished from his party, but he's actually the strongest. His old party is a bunch of douchebags, basically like Healer. They end up wanting him back, just like Healer. And they unlike the other one, they realize that in Healer, they actually realize that it's kind of his fault, but they're ready, or like their own fault, but they're awful people, worse than the other ones, and try to like sell their little mage girl into slavery because they're awful. So like these people are just pieces of shit in this one, where they're like, oh no, it's everybody else's fault. We're the best ever. It's all that fucking piece of shit red mage's fault. So they're all like a bunch of fucking douchebags. But I think
except for the one girl who's crying alone in her bedroom watching the streams.
Yeah, hopefully she gets to join Clover.
Well, we know we're getting a cat girl. They can't have the full roster that's in the credits. They're gonna get a cat girl.
Yeah, so I'm hoping the one who's crying like gets to join. Because she was so like Healer, you know how the little mage girl was bullied into kicking out the healer.
Yes.
I can't remember his fucking name. But they kind of like bullied her a little bit into getting rid of Yuke. So it's like they're almost exactly the same, except this one has a streaming function, which I think is actually pretty awesome.
Hold on a second. I just noticed something. Crimson, do you notice something about his party and his main, I guess, waifus for the show? Let's see. Let's see if you notice the same thing I just kind of realized seeing them all put out there.
Are we talking about the fact that it kind of looks like Java's reincarnation's harem?
Yes, the Mushuken Sensei harem. It's Sylphie, Roxy,
and Eris.
And Eris.
Yes.
And they're doing the exact same things. You got Eris as a swords person, Roxy as the mage, and Sylphie kind of as the in-between. It's like, oh,
Sylphie as the MILF.
So I actually like this one. I did like Healer, but I think this is better than Healer. And I think like 7, 8 is actually a pretty good show. I want to see him kick the shit out of Thunderpike. And I hope he also beats the shit out of that fucking, or actually,
the pervy, overweight dude. That's
the
that's
looks like
skeezing on the girls on Clover.
I have a theory here
kick his ass actually
as to how this is going to go. He's going to approach Thunderpike and like, hey, like we have a mutual interest in like sabotaging these guys, and they're going to try and start some shit. And it's going to result in basically a fight that breaks up Thunderpike because they're going to get caught and it's going to be some like criminal stuff going on. And the one girl who is sitting in her room crying because she doesn't want to go out after realizing like dungeons are dangerous is either going to completely quit being an adventurer altogether, or she's going to join up with Clover.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Clover, actually, I don't want to use that as a segue just yet. Speaking of women, but yeah, let's do that one. Speaking of women, we got an elf woman who's now in Japan. Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf.
This one apparently, look at this, 7.39. People love the idea of your dream elf girl just appearing in your bed and just taking her around town.
You wouldn't?
Yeah.
I'm married. It would be a very bad idea.
Why would your wife be your dream elf girl then? You know? And you already have her. You just put her in elf ears, okay? You're living the dream. Get over it.
That's true. Let me see about how well that would. Hey, dear, can you put on these cosplay elf ears for me?
Can you put on these elf ears for me, please?
No, that's
I personally really like this. This is another one that honestly, like, if you want something to just turn on as background noise, it would be another good one for like a dub to watch. But I do really enjoy this because of, well, silver-haired elf girl. I need not explain, but that is my thing, and there's a common theme.
That's our channel Subaru. He's the knight of the channel.
Well, it's not just that, but
Skynet Gooner.
Sylphie, silver-haired elf girl. Okay, How to Treat Your Elf Bride, silver-haired elf girl. This silver-haired elf girl.
Yes. All right. So
I like it.
We all know what Crimson's search history is.
How can I forget Freerin? How can I forget Freerin?
I don't know, because you think of the Grimjack version rather. They're the people who make the Goblin Slayer parody, so the Furin parody as well. Grimjack, look him up. He's fucking awesome.
What the hell are you going on about, Kakarot?
Just watch it. Just when you fall off that horse, you get up and you eat that horse, Vegeta. You eat that horse.
Will you eat that horse with me? But when you get knocked off that horse, you get back up and you eat that horse. Will you eat that horse with me, Vegeta? What the hell are you going on about, Kakarot? My favorite fucking quote from Dragon Ball Abridged. That in Dad, I swear to God, if you say muffin button, but it was.
Mine is fuck. I just had it in my head. I need an adult. I am an adult. And everybody just keeps using it when Gohan's like, I need an adult.
I need an adult. I am an adult.
But okay, back to this one. So in this newest episode, she's like trying to learn Japanese, and she's like, well, I can learn Japanese in my sleep now too, because now we're in my world and we're learning Japanese, and my goal is to be able to communicate with you within 2 months, like fully master it. And then they figure, or it explains what happens when they like die and what goes on with the body when they come back, and how their body like disappears. So like the people that ambushed them and they died from that little beast kid, who I think is going to be probably like their adopted child come along, because he was being abused. So probably they'll save him when they come back, because they're already planning how to like stop it when they get back. So this is actually really interesting. I've said it before, but this reminds me of one of my favorite book series, which no, I did not read it. I've only listened to it like 10 times. It's the only thing I listen to almost as much as Lord of the Rings, and it is the Twinborn Chronicles. So it's about this guy when he goes to sleep, his other half is awake, and then when he goes to bed, his other one wakes up. So if he's awake for like 18 hours, the other guy's sleeping for 18 hours. So that's kind of like this. They both have the same face, but based on their world, they have like one is super strong and one super powerful in magic. And that's kind of what this is to me. So I really like this one because of that fact that it's like, oh, I go to bed and I'm in this dream world, and then when I wake up, I'm my normal self. So it reminds me of one of my favorite series. And that's what I really like about this one. And it's a cute little romance, if it's even considered a romance, because she's definitely into him. And it's an isekai and a reverse isekai, and I don't know. I just like it.
Elf girl.
Elf girl. Yeah, there we go. Little Chad.
I mean, it's nice. It's a wholesome kind of just relaxing show. I don't know what to say, about it besides that it's a fun time. I think it'll be one of those shows where hopefully it stays. I don't, like you said, I don't know. I think you can telegraph where it's going, and I think it's just going to be nice. It reminds me a little bit of Devil is a Part-Timer, since it's a reverse isekai where they end up in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously that one went a little harder with some of the like end of core fight scenes. I don't know that we're going to get that, but in Japan, so at least because they do continue to go back and forth.
Yeah, this one is a nice little like relaxing sort of slice of life isekai romance series. I get the feeling that at some point we're gonna see like they introduced the little like beast person kid who has the magic stone in that last episode. We're probably going to see once this whole thing with the bandits is resolved, we're probably going to see that character be added to the main cast. That's my prediction. It almost seems a little like too telegraphed not for that, or for that to not happen. And we may very well see some other characters from Kazuhiko's world getting dragged into this, judging by the cover
screen
image there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I blanked on that word for whatever reason.
All right. Well, let's go to one where I'm not sure how I feel about it. Even given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest. What do you guys think of this? It's fine.
Background noisy isekai. Well, it's not even an isekai, but it's almost a background noise isekai. It's just
It's an okay fantasy. That's it.
Yeah,
Like, there's
standard
nothing
issue.
particularly amazing about it. Like, the best part of it is it didn't just power fantasy him right off the bat. It actually made him work a little bit for it. But other than that, I mean, it was funny that like he's not. It wasn't even 5 minutes into the outside of the dungeon part of the last episode, and his harem doubles in size.
Yeah, so the
I
harem
did
is the
think it was
funniest
funny
part.
when the dude gets added in and he looks like Roswald from.
The dude is the funniest part of the harem because he's like, "Will you marry me?" And he's like, "How about we just be friends, dude?" Like
For now.
And I like, yeah, he's just like, that'll do for now. And he's also like, he's the like most aggressive about like all these other girls who clearly want this guy are right there, and he's just like, "What's up, bro? Let me go ahead and like tuxedo mask my way into your life right here."
Like the princess girl, she's like, "I'm the second princess," and he's like, I'm your wife. I'm the first wife," and he's like, "You could be the second wife," to the world tree girl.
No. How it went was basically Yuki, the world tree spirit, decided she was going to declare herself his wife. And then the second princess is like, "It's okay, I could just be his." Or the third princess is like, "I can be his second wife. It's okay, it works out."
Yeah, that's how it went. My bad. The dude in the harem is fucking mint. It's just so funny that he was like, "I love you too," and he's just like, "How about we just be friends, man?"
All I could think of in that scene was Ice Age when like Sid lands on Manny's face. He's like, "You have beautiful eyes." That's all I could think of.
But like, I really don't know how I feel about this. And basically, the main part that I remember is just the fucking end of the third episode. Like, it made me forget everything else that happened. I know he gets a. Oh, this one too has an abandonment where he gets abandoned by his group.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a very okay fantasy, because it uses a lot of the same exact tropes as like every other fantasy that's been coming out for the past couple of seasons.
I just remembered another thing that makes A rank just like the healer one. Remember how the healer one had like an overflowing in the dungeon?
That's right. They brought up stampedes and
yeah, they at the end of
they were using the same exact terms.
They
overflow, stampede.
They just talked about an overflow. So there's going to be an overflow in that one too. So it's almost the same thing, rather than having a blue haired girl who's going to die to be sacrificed to the dragon or whatever. But yeah, this one's fun. And I don't know how I feel about it, but I do know how I feel about this one. Now, I have almost beat this video game. It's Farmagia. It's only rated a 5. I do believe
I'll be honest, I'm tapping. I have not watched one episode. I have no interest in this show.
Biggles, you're going to have to solo this one because
that's fine. So this is from Hiro Mashima, the creator of Fairy Tail. It's based on a video game.
Oh, now I get it.
It's based on a video game from that's only on the Switch and Steam. That's in my Switch right now. We play it on Friday nights here. The anime is so far better than this. It's a power of friendship type anime. It has. I really want the dub to come out because I really like a lot of the voice actors in this. So basically, it is the first couple hours of the video game right now, where Felicidad is being attacked there on Avrion. And Lee and Ten and the others, they're Farmagias, which are, they farm their creatures and they live with the creatures. They help work together. The orphanage just got attacked. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a dude on the cover that is a dude. Yeah. But we also have two of them. Actually, two of the dudes are on there that will be important to the story for a different reason than the other two guys. And 10 was the only one who didn't have his own Pharmagia creature, and he gets Fang at the end of the first episode. They fight off an attack, and then they're working their way, and they're about to meet Nomia, who in the dub is played by Ryan Bartley, who is Rom. And it's just fun. I would say wait for a dub and wait till it's over if you want. No rush. I'm just glad it is better than the video game. But yeah, I like it. I'll give it a 6. It's fine. I really enjoy playing the game when I want to relax. He gets Fang but hates dogs. 10 makes Natsu seem a lot smarter, if that makes sense. I know Natsu's not like an idiot, but like 10 is just ridiculous. Who is the main character? But yeah, it's fun. It has some fun plot twists that happened in the game, so hopefully later on they're good. But let's talk about something else where we have animation. We have fun animation.
Hey, I like this. I haven't watched episode 4. It's still on my list.
Uh-oh.
But
I have watched episode 4, and it won't let me edit it. It doesn't want me to watch episode 4.
I like that in episode 3, instead of doing something like ridiculous, like a giant monster or a bunch of missiles, she just drew a cat with a wrestling mask and did the whole like
best part of the anime.
That was absolutely just fantastic to watch. I like this series. Will I say it's the most amazing thing? No, it's worth watching because it has a dub, and it has good animation. But its story is really just serviceable so far.
Yeah, I think my favorite part, besides the cat wrestling scene, is just how much they like call her a gremlin and shit, and they just make fun of her because she dresses like a slob with her hair like covering her face, and then she's just into like a fucking hoodie. And they just like make fun of her appearance all the time. And
I like seeing the unicorn get bullied.
Yeah, that's fun too. Like he'll like go and like flirt with women, and they'll just like make fun of him.
Or like when she starts slinging him around, Natsuko just picks him up and starts slinging him around.
And then Destiny, like the fan service Destiny,
the quintessential damsel in distress. Yes,
and always causes problems. Yeah, this is a fun one. I enjoy it.
I still think it just got so. I think it would be doing better. I know it's got a good score, but I know that me and a lot of other people from the initial promotion and ads thought this was going to be a workplace show and didn't expect it to be a full-blown isekai. Not that I'm complaining, but I think it lost a lot of people in the misrepresentation.
Well, even the description of the series said no, like when it was announced, said nothing about her dying
Exactly.
and going to another fantasy world. It's just, well, she's struggling to write a movie about first love.
Exactly.
So I have a theory
that she's not dead, that this is all a dream.
That she got like super bad food poisoning, that she didn't actually die, and she's like in the hospital right now and like in a coma or something.
If only she had a sister who loved her enough to headbutt her head against a wall to join her.
Yeah, exactly. But I think because it seems like the plot of the movie's almost done, so I feel like maybe she's going to end up going back.
What if she brings them back with her?
Yeah, that could be possible. So I read ahead on something else, and I won't say anything else, but I like it. But
Well, do you like the series because you read ahead on it?
no, not here. I didn't read ahead on this. I'm just guessing.
No, what I'm saying is this is an anime original. How do you read ahead on this series?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I said I read ahead on something else.
Like a leak site, like a Reddit site kind of thing?
No. I read
On a
ahead.
different series altogether.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
That
I
has
was
You said that so vaguely. Like
I
I
was
read
with
ahead on
Crimson.
something else, but I'm not going to mention what.
I was
Yeah, because
tracking
it
the
helped.
same way Crimson was.
But I was trying to say like it helped me like think of
Give
this theory.
context. It
Yeah,
gave you context.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
It helped me think of like maybe that is, and the reason why I don't want to say it is it just, to me, it just makes everything even more awesome than it was. So I don't want to like spoil something else.
I think I know
Well,
what
I
you're
mean, and you're
talking
just
about,
coming up
considering
with you just have a theory, so you can come out with it. It's not really a spoiler when it's a theory because you're just extrapolating
No,
from
what
other
he's
shows.
saying is this is the other show
Okay.
is he would end up spoiling the other show, and I think I know which one he's talking about.
So yeah, any other stuff on this one?
I mean,
Good animation, fun characters. Watch it dubbed. Honestly, that's my opinion of it. Not the most amazing thing out, but it's definitely funny.
I definitely like how the boss has like its own character in there. So like I hope she finds like more people based on like the characters from the people she was alive in. But yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed it.
She's actually tripping out. She's gonna wake up and on the stand during a war crimes trial. You're responsible for the sarin gas attack.
All right.
Oh wow.
So now let's jump into my top 3. And since we didn't go here earlier, Apothecary Diaries season 2. So we all know Crimson likes when they want to do cats. And the first episode of season 2.
Shut the fuck up, Ronald McDonald. Shut the fuck up, you clown ass whore.
Jinji is like, I don't understand the appeal of cats. And then she starts explaining it, and he's like, oh, it's Mau Mau. She's a cat. And we all know he wants to do her, so he wants to do a cat. And it just Crimson hates her in fucking the other show. So I think it's hilarious in this show. But other than like, this is great. It's funny when it needs to be. It's serious when it needs to be. We're getting into the conspiracy theories that they're doing. You get to solve mysteries. It's got a romance where she's like, no, go away. And he's like, I need this. It's just so much fun.
I think it did a really good job of sort of like doing a couple like palate cleanser episodes right off the beginning, because like it kind of ended on a pretty heavy note with the first season. This did a really good job of like giving us something fun and like interesting to watch before moving more into the conspiracy theory stuff that's going on behind the scenes, particularly with everything that happened around the Silk Road and how that last episode ended.
And all the girls are going to learn how to read. So there's that.
That seems like a mistake.
And Jinji like ruined her.
I just wanted to derail Biggles with that one.
He wanted to ruin her plan to sell all the basically their version of the Kama Sutra from her sisters at the brothel. But yeah, this show's so fun. There's a cat now named Mau Mau, and she's like, I don't know why they named it Mau Mau.
No, she refuses to acknowledge that. She just calls it Admonisher of Thieves.
It's great. They're so like, and the animation is awesome. And then like, I know like season 1 had the better like opening, or was it the outro? The opening, right? Was the really, really good one. But
yeah, Hana Ninate, the intro for part 1 of season 1.
Yeah, and then season 2, like it's really good too. So
I don't think it's as good as the original.
well, that's why I was saying it's not as earlier. I said it's not as good as 1. But I couldn't remember if it was the intro or the outro, which was a really, really good one. But the music is good too. Characters are all likable. There's a new character now, the one who caught the cat. I'm interested to see how she plays into it.
I don't trust her. She's sus.
You don't trust her? All right. Why do you not trust her? Go for it.
She's sus. She's too convenient a character.
So the convenient. So maybe she's part of the conspiracy. All right, we'll find out. I don't know.
Let's put it this way: her arrival into the cast somewhat coincides with all of the sudden. Well, first of all, someone knew how to read and was teaching him, and everyone in the palace,
The Nerd Palace,
is like starting to learn to read. So there's one element of like, okay, that doesn't seem like a huge issue, but the theme in Apothecary Diaries is these things that are all like small little separate compartmentalized issues add up to something big. Like every mystery across the entirety of season 1 led up to the climax.
Mm-hmm.
So she pops up right as like the Silk Road stuff happens, as like there's this thing where everyone's suddenly starting to learn to read and she's reading books to people. And she also just so happened to go chase a cat down.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that the cat was basically being used to deliver a message to inside the palace.
Mm-hmm.
And she is on the receiving end. So that's why she wanted to catch the cat.
That could be it.
Cats as a messenger seems very inefficient. But
okay, but given the security on the palace, how else would you do it?
That's true. I could see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying is all of these things seem really odd to have around. And it's just she's too convenient of a character to just pop up out of nowhere.
All right. Little Chad, anything?
I kind of see where Crimson was going at it. Now I'm thinking about it with how, I mean, this isn't the first season, so you can look at how it was put together. Now I'm just mulling over the idea of her being a plant, kind of like the too convenient of a character makes sense. 100%, especially since this is a it's essentially a mystery / detective show, and they generally want to make sure that when you go back upon and view it again, it's going to be in plain sight if you know what you're looking for. So that would make sense that this is all right there if you were looking for it. So yeah, I mean,
plus someone who's also like charismatic the way she is.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, Apothecary Diaries has been, everybody loves this show. I don't think anybody who's seen it, I mean, I guess looking at the user ratings, it's not a perfect 10, but
hey, I gave it a 10. Look at that.
Yeah.
some shonen bros probably decided to watch it because it was gaining a lot of popularity, and we're like, hey, this is stupid. Where's the flashy lights?
It's like, where's Goku hanging, like charging up 4 episodes?
Why are those courtesans not fighting people? Demon Slayer had the courtesans fighting people.
Why is it? And if they did fight, why aren't their clothes exploding off their bodies? Isn't that what happens when girls fight in anime?
All right. Anything else?
I don't want to spoil too much of the series, but I've said my piece. So
all right.
I think it's mystery shows. You got to be very careful because every little thing could be a spoiler. So it's just well worth watching. It's great. Be ready for the fact that it's not, like you said, it's not a shonen. If you wanted a shonen jump show, this isn't it. But especially if you liked,
you're also going to learn a lot about prostitutes in this one.
Yeah,
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a life skill.
Courtesans. put some respect on their jobs.
I was gonna say, if you like the Doctor show that we talked about earlier, if you already watched it, then you should be really good about watching Apothecary Diaries. They're pretty good, like as a combo.
All right, now for my favorite one, or probably one of my favorite ones. I have definitely read ahead in this one. I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. I put this as a 9 right off the rip. There's 4 episodes now. If you saw me and Crimson on Twitter earlier, I called him a piece of shit, and I will blank him, which is Alina Clover's go-to line against the bad guys that causes her overtime or destroys her house or wants her to possibly lose her job as a receptionist or forces her to work more overtime. This is my best girl. All right. I've said it. She has a giant hammer. She just fucking hits people with it.
I didn't realize you were into that kind of play.
Man, I like girls that can kill me at any minute. It's very interesting, and it's you're like, will she kill me today? And you just like you're like living on the edge, you know.
Oh, sorry. You're just making me. You're making me remember some very cringe things a friend of mine has said on stream.
It's why I liked my ex-girlfriend, because she stabbed me like twice. She's not masculine at all.
That's some Biggles lore that I wasn't aware of. There we go.
She's not masculine at all. She just has a weapon and a skill that she can kill you with one hit.
She reminds me of the character design reminds me a lot of Rory Mercury from The Gate, with the real, except she had the oversized scythe versus the giant oversized hammer.
I have already bought my figure for Alina. And now the dub came out. It's not masculine. She's not masculine at all. Look at those arms. Look at her. Look at her body. She's definitely not masculine, and she doesn't act like a dude. But she, I got thrown off. But yeah, like her whole interactions, like the girl with the pigtails, she's like, oh, I'd let him hit me with his hammer, not realizing that it's her. So she's like talking all this stuff she wants him to do to her, and like to her.
Yeah, the other receptionist who's like part head of the fan club.
Yeah,
I just feel bad. So what I'm really upset with is that I didn't get an update on her house in the newest episode. Like I know she's staying with the A ranked party, but I was like, how long will it take her to fix her house? Is it fixed? Like, what's going on?
Well, they did say
we know that's her goal.
They did say they're rebuilding it.
Like, did she have insurance so she doesn't have to pull overtime?
Well, we know she's not going to have to pull overtime because they blackmailed her into doing it, or doing the quest where they're like, yeah, we're just going to like hire double the people.
We'll double the number of receptionists. And then I loved her fantasy. She's like, no matter how much work, I'll just be able to throw bodies at it. It won't be, I'll never have to do overtime again.
Yeah, I absolutely love this manga, and I love the anime. No one can change my mind on this. It's just so much fun. And Jill Harris is a perfect person to play the dub version of her, who plays Noelle for Black Clover.
Did they start releasing the dub now?
Episode 1 of the dub is out, and I made sure to watch it. I love this series. So if you like girls who hate overtime, watch.
If you like girls who can kill you, like Biggles.
Oh yeah, oh great. Being stabbed isn't fun though. I'll let you know. I had one girl cut me too. She was fun. Okay, so
The closest I got was dating a Mexican girl. That was a mistake.
I mean, that's one step away, honestly.
What do you think they were? Oh, I love them. Okay, so
Brown bitches.
to quote the Lethal song. Okay. Let's go to the best show of the series. A show that is fucking awesome. And I'm putting it as a 10. It's a fucking 10. No one can tell me otherwise. Is there 4 or 5 episodes out now? 4?
I think we're up to 4.
I put it as a 10.
Because the newest one was her getting love flags all over by being so useful.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Useful for the kingdom.
so she keeps trying to be like the villain. And she just keeps making like them like her more. She's like, yeah, that was really villainous. Or Kenzabura, he's like trying to be all villainous, and Grace is just like, because the elegance cheat, it makes it sound very like noblish. So he'll like say stuff in his like version, and it will come out elegant. So like
I think there's actually only 3 episodes of this out.
Is there only?
No,
3?
I think there's 4 now. Is it only 3?
Let me
The last one was the dad jokes contest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be episode 3.
Oh, was there only 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only 3. Oh, okay. Let's go 3 then. Okay.
The show's so good, it's convinced us that there's more episodes than there actually is.
I feel like I've seen it all the way through already.
The dad joke part was perfect because he goes up and he's sauntering as the villainous. He's sauntering over with the fan and he's like, "Hold on, wait." And then he does the like lamest dad joke, and the guy is bowled over onto his knees, and he's like, "I am not worthy. That is the greatest. That was the punniest pun." And he's like, "No, your pun was great, but mine was just more refined."
And then everybody else was like, "What? Oh, no, it wasn't. What are you doing?"
It would have been great if they had whatever the reverse of a love flag is, like light up on the heroine and the prince as he's making the bad puns.
Oh yeah, where they're like affection scale down.
Yeah.
But I like how at the end he's trying to complete her routes with the first years. And it's like the mischievous type, the tsundere types. She's like, listen, the tsunderes are complete pushovers. You just gotta be it, tell them how it is, and then he just does it, and she's like, "Oh, I get it now." After he just does it, and she's like, "You cheated," and he's like, "No, she didn't. You were the one who were complaining about speed, so now she's got this." And then she makes him. Then
with the abacus,
her teach him. So there's that, and then Luca or Lucas or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he's got 3 different names when you read. He's playing it like he's strumming it like it's a guitar, and he's like, "Don't you do that with that? That's a precious instrument, tool."
Yes. Now for this one, I mean, I made a video today that basically encapsulates my thoughts on this. Really, the weakest part of it that I can say is the side characters who just haven't had enough time yet to be developed much.
Mm-hmm.
But its animation is unnecessarily good. Its character dynamics are still really fun. I like the idea of it. I'm really glad that they didn't go the pervy route. They could have oh, this is screwed up. I've been reincarnated as a girl. Don't get me started on that manga. please. Don't get me started on that manga.
I don't know the name of it, but we're okay to skip it. And the magic system in this is freaking awesome, man. Like
it's actually pretty good. Yes.
Yeah, it's the best magic system of the seasons. So, and I like how he can use Japanese words to cast the magic, and he doesn't have to learn this other system. So he's already ahead of everybody else.
Yes, all around a really, really good series. Like I kid you not, this is one of my favorites of the season.
Now,
it's just such it's so funny with when he's like, my cheat code is my years of just being a dignified like otherworldly bureaucrat. He's like,
elegance cheat.
Elegance cheat. I was like, hello, principal. Good morning, principal. Elegance cheat. And yeah, it's good. I do think that the like Crimson said, like the heroine with the little pink hair and the princes and the prince and the love interest are just so far pretty undeveloped. I mean, I feel like we've actually spent more time in flashbacks with his daughter as a character than we have with some of these other side characters who are like key to the romance threads.
I like Anna. I feel like she's been developed a little bit more than the others, but there still isn't like a whole lot there. Her personality is just as eccentric as our main characters, to the point where like she actually stands out quite a bit. Everyone else feels like a generic like Otome game trope so far, outside of the fact that they have some like weird quirk, like the tough guy hates bugs, and the fancy like quiet guy really, really loves bad puns.
And they're like, yeah, that's why we tell him not to talk, because he's like annoying.
He's actually a chatterbox, but he annoys everyone with his bad jokes.
Yeah, so they tell him not to talk. I feel his pain. Yeah. So this is actually great. I love it. I even like the little maid Josette, or Josetti, or however you say her name.
Josette, I think that's correct.
Yeah, I really like her. She's like, you're going to sell me into slavery? And she's like, oh no. And then she's like, you know what? How about I just be over nice to her? She's like, here, eat these cookies.
Protect Josette at all costs.
Yeah, she's adorable. And he's just like, oh, like he goes into dad mode with her, and it's great. I love it. And you get a lot from. Have we seen a lot of the wife, or just more of the daughter right now?
Just the daughter.
Just the daughter.
Okay.
We've only seen the wife like once in a very well animated like mock fusion dance between the dad and father. She like walks in as they're doing it, and she's just standing there behind them.
Yeah, so there are Dragon Ball Z references a lot.
My favorite part of the 3 episodes so far is the flashback to him as a bureaucrat with the young guys who are trying to get a manga to use a manga as a promotional material for something in the town, and he gets up and they think he's just going to be going into like normal bureaucrat stuff, and he's like, you got it completely wrong, because they didn't wear this outfit in this part of the anime. It was like,
she's smiling too much. She's not supposed to be this happy.
She's never this happy. And he's just like going full otaku, like breaking down like the neat details on everything. And the guys are just like, I had no idea he knew so much about
this. Is amazing, right? I love it. I really have nothing bad to say about this show. I freaking absolutely love it.
No, it's great. And honestly, I think its intro is up there with like this season. Shangri-La Frontier and Solo Leveling both had really.
Yes. Did you
this one? I lost connection for like 2 seconds there.
Okay.
I would honestly say that like my favorite intros for the season would be Shangri-La Frontier, the newest one, Solo Leveling, and then this. Like they're all on my playlist now. Like I freaking love this song. Plus, if you look at the lyrics, it's actually pretty good too.
Yeah. This show's great, and I can't wait for more. And yeah, I love I also love how he's bad with names, and he's like, "Oh, please say his name again." Oh, thank you. Like, he's like, "You did it again, Anne." Like, it's just so much fun. I can't wait for more. I have a feeling this is going to be really good. Oh, I have a question. Do you guys think it might be a translation error on the title of the Otaku game? Because it's Magic Academy Love Beast.
Do
you
Love
think it
and
might be
Beast?
Love and Beast, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think it's supposed to be Love and Beast, but there's no.
It literally says Love and Beast.
Oh, I didn't see an and sign in the sub.
I saw an and sign.
Oh,
I know
maybe I'm
this because I
blind.
was literally up until like 1 a.m. last night trying to complete the video for today, so it'll be
Oh.
ready to go before this.
Oh,
It's just, I was
okay.
like,
Then
I
maybe I
know it,
didn't see it.
Biggles. I know it was there.
Then maybe I.
I
then maybe
saw it. I saw it, Biggles. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes.
Then maybe
He's
I'm
there.
going crazy.
The
'cause
end.
I
The
was-
end.
I was like, why is it called Love Beast? I never saw the end. And it's maybe because I
Biggles
have-
wishes he was a love beast, but he's the protagonist of an NTR manga.
Ooh, that's dark.
Now I have to learn what that means.
You don't. Oh, don't look it up. Don't. No, don't look it up, Biggles.
I can explain it to you after the stream. Don't
No,
look
Biggles. No, Biggles. Don't look it up on stream.
A genre of story. Oh, okay, got it.
it up. By the way, I got tricked into reading something like that on Sunday, and it was just fucking depressing after that.
Whatever. Who cares? Who was it? The other Ronnie, or was it? Who?
No, it was someone. It was something on Twitter. Someone was advertising a story. I was like, "Oh, this looks like it could be a cool little like, school rom-com thing. Like the main character girl is she looks interesting. Like the premise is kind of funny." And then, like as the series got in, like I don't know, like 20 chapters in, it starts talking about how like this girl who I thought was like, oh, she's like this free spirit, fun person. She's a fucking whore.
Nice.
And she's just fucking everyone because it's fun. And making fun of the main character's penis for being small. Yeah, it was at that point I was like, okay, I know where this is going. I'm gonna hit the nuclear button on this one and just set it aside.
And he finished the whole thing.
No.
Okay, so yeah, there's nothing bad about this. And I swear I thought it said Love Beast. And I was like, wait, which one of them is the Love Beast? Apparently, if you watch the intro, there's beasts in it. So I don't know what those are for, but we'll find out. Hopefully within these last 8 episodes, 9
Probably
episodes.
they're like familiars because remember when they got the eggs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they got eggs. Yeah, probably. Yeah, let's go with that. They're familiars.
That have to be powered through the power of.
I'm expecting one of the people in the cast to be like, "Oh, I hard boiled mine the other day." Whoops.
It would probably be him. No, but I've watched every episode like twice already, and I don't remember the eggs at all. At all, I suck.
Well, if you miss the and sign, missing the eggs is just kind of a given.
Yeah, I can't even fucking read. Okay, so
You probably also missed the lightsaber in episode 4.
wait, 4 didn't come out yet. We've already talked that there's only 3.
That's why I specifically said episode 4.
There might be a lightsaber. His daughter might have it.
That's not a lightsaber.
Dun, dun, dun.
I found this weird lightsaber under my mom's bed.
What is that from again? I've heard that line before.
Probably from Maza.
Oh.
Well,
I believe it.
No, it was from the Chappelle Show.
Was it?
It was when they did the couple swap. and he went into the bedroom and he's like, "Why she got a lightsaber?" Because he turned on.
That makes sense. Maybe that's where I've seen it from because I used to watch it all the time. All right, so we've been going 2 hours. We discussed all the ones I had on here. Was there ones we missed that you wanted to talk about?
Not
Go
particularly.
Red Ranger. That one's a good one.
Oh yeah, I haven't started
I
that
will
yet.
say that watching it back a second time, to like catch up on some stuff, it was actually a little bit better than my initial impression of it.
I don't know. Are you caught up on the newest episode?
Again, I haven't watched it. I probably should have instead of like playing Monster Hunter after getting off work early today, but I am really addicted to the grind and I want to get through Iceborne before Wilds comes out. So
There you go. All right, so talked about everything on the thumbnail. You didn't want to talk about that anymore, little Chad, or
well, for his sake, he brought it up. I mean, we both do have comments on it. Like it's an entertaining series.
Yeah, it's a fun show. It's I like new twists on isekai. I can't believe that it took this long for somebody to do a Super Sentai combo with isekai. It just seems like it should have happened already before.
I just like that, like
not one.
No.
Go Loser Ranger was a send up of Sentai shows.
Oh, okay.
Where it was like, if you remember the Power Rangers, it would be like one of the putties deciding they were sick and tired of the Power Rangers beating them up every week and trying to take them down. This one is the Red Ranger gets sent to another world after defeating the boss in the final climactic battle. And then he took with him all the Ranger tropes that just don't make any sense.
And the whole world has to now adapt to his absolute insane antics. It's great.
Like he's keeps failing adventuring quests because he's supposed to bring back the materials, but because when he punches them, they all explode because it's a Sentai show. Mm-hmm. The materials are burned beyond recognition, so he can't get any credit.
His guild card has a unique layout to it.
Yeah, the girl is like, what? Why is it laid out like this? This doesn't even make sense.
You've been watching 100 Girlfriends long enough to know that Karine is the one who's constantly commenting on everything that's insane. Basically, though, the witch lady in this series is Karine. Okay,
so she's the tsundere?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's like, "Why is everything exploding? Don't do that right when I'm right next to you. You make you're gonna throw." And then when she's looking at the guild card, it's supposed to have traditional rankings, but his is like a Sentai thing. It's like, through the power of friendship bonds, he can lift 3 tons. And she's like, "What does this even mean?" And then
that's a really inconsistent form of energy.
And then he goes, "Well, hold on, there's a video." And she's like, "What do you mean there's a video?" And he just hits play, and there's like a background video explaining who his character is as a Power Ranger. And she's like, "This doesn't make any sense. No other guild card is like this. You don't make any sense."
All right, I'll have to watch it. That sounds funny.
It's really dumb and just straight up funny.
I like dumb shit.
Yeah, I think if you have any kind of appreciation like that about Sentai stuff, or
that's why I like Crimson.
The rest, you'll appreciate it.
I am smart. SMRT.
IR smart.
Smarts am I.
All right. All right. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
No, I covered all the stuff. We covered everything. This was very thorough.
The last thing I will say is, like, of all the anime that have come out this season, I still don't know what the hell to make out of Ube Blet.
I haven't watched it.
Which one is that one?
That's Hulu, right?
I have no idea where it is. I think it's on Amazon, actually, but it's basically like dark fantasy.
I mean, I'll tell you the one my wife was watching. It's on Hulu. It's about like figure skating, and she really likes
Medalist.
it. Yeah,
I hear a lot of people say good things about Medalist.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't usually gotten into sports anime very much, but she is loving that hell. But she likes figure skating, so I mean, if you like figure skating or sports anime, that one is the one for this season to watch. Apparently.
All right.
Also, Biggles, watch freaking Shangri-La Frontier already.
Yeah.
It's not finished yet.
Oh, there's 26 episodes from the first season already done.
It's not finished yet.
You know, you say that you can power through all this anime and you're only on episode 6, 100 Girlfriends, so I don't believe you.
That's because I don't want to keep watching.
That's bullshit. No one doesn't want to keep watching.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna find this guy and dunk his head in the toilet and give him the swirly he deserves.
Thanks, man.
Nerd.
Good luck. But we had, or I watch maybe 2 episodes a day of 100 Girlfriends since I started.
It's available fully dubbed for the whole first season.
I know, but I'm pacing myself.
The dub has also just started today on the second season. So.
I know, I saw that. But yeah, I will definitely. I have Shangri-La Frontier on my thing. I have 100 Girlfriends. I'm going to go, but I have to rewatch all of JJK because I have, one of my cosplays is JJK, and I know people are going to like bring stuff up about the anime, so I want to rewatch it like fresh. So I'm going to have to power through all those episodes before I leave in a week. So that is where I'm going to be powering my episode. And plus I have to get ready for a move. So I have to pack up a whole bunch of shit tomorrow and Wednesday. And then I have to start. Then Thursday I'll probably start powering up all my throughing all my animes. And I don't want to move, but I have to. So I have to get ready and do all that shit that I don't want to do. But that's it, everybody. Thanks for. Or do you guys want to put your channels in the chat or say something?
I mean, you can find me at Crimson Law. I do anime content exclusively. And maybe we'll do some like gaming stuff in the near future when Monster Hunter Wilds comes out.
Yep. I just co-host a show weekly, Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's on YouTube. Ascendant Art is the name of the podcast. So if you guys look that up, you'll be able to find it. I guess I'll try to get a link real quick because that seems like the more professionally YouTuber kind of thing to do.
Well, I would get links if I could. I just can't fucking get to my chat. My YouTube's been fucked this entire stream. Luckily, I have Restream that I can look at.
There you go. I just popped the link in.
Perfect. And that is all we have for you guys today. The next time you'll see me is Friday night. We'll be
Man, Chad is lighting you up about not watching Shangri-La Frontier. Get to it.
It's one person.
No, there's 2 comments.
Well, one is about the manga, okay? One's about the anime, one's about the manga.
Yeah, no, but it has no end in sight. Just watch it.
Just watch it at the end.
Because you're it's not like you're gonna be ahead of the manga. There's something. It's great. It is. I mean, it's probably the Lycagon fight just kind of wrapped up, and it was so great.
Mm-hmm. The last episode, not really terribly impressed with. Over like it spent a lot of time on Katsu and Pencilgon.
Yeah, it was the filler episode, kind of like what they were doing while our hero was here. I do really love when we cut to the developers and he's going into the argument between the coder and the story person, and she's like, "Oh no," and he's like, I heard that Lycagon's shadow was defeated. Aren't you upset?" She's like, "No. I had always planned on Lycagon's shadow being defeated. What I didn't plan on is somebody going in and quadrupling its stats so that it would be so damn hard." And she's like, "Well, what do you mean? Why wouldn't I do that? Lycagon should be that difficult." And they just start rumbling.
The developer scenes are fucking great for that series.
He's taking whatever his name is, medicine did not hold up. His stomach was destroyed as a result of these fights. So funny.
All right, but I will check it out probably once I get back, because that's like 2 weeks from now, and maybe they'll be almost completely done with the dub on there. So, and a lot of these shows I am anime only, so I'm okay with not, or I don't care how far they are in the mangas, because that's not my thing. I can't read, although I have over 200 mangas. I can't read. There's a lot of pictures. I look at the pictures. It takes me sometimes over an hour to read a book. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining me, Crimson and Little Chad. We'll see you all next Monday. Hopefully, unless Little Chad abandons me again and I have more abandonment issues. But that's it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Crimson says it's just for the plot, but we all know it is probably not. Little Chad with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And in the trumpet, we decided that you look back. Watashi tachi wa sorera wa subete vunseiki shimasu. It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting over shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles break.